Hi guys, back to Dogecoin now. So last week it was a green candle, but it hasn't recovered to the point where it dropped. It started dropping. I mean, from the prior week, and currently we started with a bit of red. Before getting into all the technical analysis, I want to address one comment I received, and because it carries something very important, that's why I want to bring it up. So here, I've got a comment saying my analysis is negative about Doge and I keep saying prices coming down. The thing is, I try never be emotional about any assets. I learned this a long time ago. So if we are trying to be in the investment or trading game, it's better to avoid emotions as much as possible. So you can go Google or ask AI a lot about investors' psychology, what's prospect theory, all those kind of stuff, and find out what's actually affecting our investment decisions. So back to the comment I received, it's not about proving myself. In all my sessions, I never say something like some other I don't know, famous people or YouTubers saying the price must go up or go down. That's not me. I'm more telling everybody, okay, if the price goes up, those are the levels of resistance. If it comes down, what are the support levels? Because I only cover a particular asset once a week, and if we look at the daily charts, within a week it can go up and down. So never I can tell someone at this frequency that a particular asset is going to be up or down like in a week's time. It can go up and down both within a week. So very important. That's the point, or the key takeaway of this is never be emotional about your investments. I know there are cases such as GameStop or whatever. You're passionate about that particular business or that particular stock, and then once in, I don't know, 100 or 1,000 times, you may be able to make a miracle, but most of the times it's not helpful to trading. So back to the charts. Here, let's go back to the weekly, where we after the automatic rally, and then we see a second test happen. So usually after a second test, we will see a little bit of rebound. How strong the rebound, it depends on multiple factors. Market sentiments, whether there are any good economic news coming out, or industry news coming out, may it be more crypto-friendly regulations coming out as well. So we can take reference from the 2002-2003 cycle, where we see the second test, it's got a pretty good leg up, even though the week here did not close high, but it went high for a while. So here, what we are having now, it seems to be coming down pretty quickly, quite similar to the second test over here back in August last year. So a little green leg up, and then the next week immediately it's a red candle. So this week has only just started 4 hours, this candle. So I wouldn't say like the comment I received, right? I don't want to sound negative. It's just we're talking about possibilities according to the Wyckoff pattern. So obviously this can go high as well, not high, but like go up a little as well. But the resistance, we know it's here, the white box, the top edge around 22 cents. This support line over here, the center line of the box, around 14 cents roughly. Uh, that's the point. If it really comes down, then it has to break below this before it forms another test. So we already covered many times. After the selling climax, we've got second test, and we can have spring and more tests. So those tests can be of way lower price than the selling climax itself. Here, our selling climax low point was around 12 cents 90 roughly. So even the second test hasn't gone as low as that point. So we have to observe how this accumulation cycle is going to evolve, because they can differ quite significantly. So this one lasted for almost a year and a half. This one only for a few months. Currently, we are, if we look at the PS from to here, we are 4 months into the accumulation cycle already. So that's Wyckoff in terms of weekly, and then if we go to the daily chart. So here, like I covered, so it is a bit busy, the chart, right? So we have these smaller boxes, the shorter term downward trends. They can be removed now since it has broken, the price has broken outside of it. However, here, this blue box, this light blue box over here, the price is still basically traveling within this box. Obviously, we can adjust it tighter. So there are two things over here. One, I talked about this box. It's getting to the top edge of the box. Second, this yellow line, this yellow resistance line over here. Over the past 6-7 days, you see all these wicks, right? The price has been trying to break this resistance line at around 17 cents. This is extended from the previous accumulation over here before this price surge. So it's not an easy resistance line to break, given there's a bit of consensus over here. But then it's not that it can't break it. So about the timeline, it's getting closer to the point where it has to try breaking above this yellow line. Reason being, scenario 1, it is basically trapped. So it either follows this downward trend and doesn't challenge the yellow line anymore, or the second scenario is we all see this triangle, right? This light blue box and the darker blue box. So that's around mid-July. So if the price does come down and stick close to the top edge of this box, eventually it will enter this triangle. And it's time for it to decide whether it's going to break outside of this downward price trend, or break this dark blue support line at around 13 cents 50. So that's where the daily action is and what it's telling us. However, if I'm trying to plug in the daily Wyckoff pattern that I did just now in the Binance session, because somebody has asked me in the comments a while ago, can I do the Wyckoff in the lower level timeline? So let me borrow the tag from Binance Coin to Dogecoin. So if I were to put, say, a buying climax over here, let's say this period was an accumulation cycle. We have this selling climax, automatic rally, and then second test, and then backup, last point of supply. So buying climax, and then we have a second test over here, and then obviously it came down. Let's say this is a sign of weakness, and we have an LPSY, last point of supply over here, and then so where we are now, this point over here, what do we call it? Is this selling climax? or is this just another sign of weakness, right? So to me, it's, well, actually, you know what? This was the last point of supply. Now I take a wider look. This was actually the selling climax. Reason being, if I refer to this accumulation level, that should be the selling climax here on the daily chart. And then this was actually the automatic rally that we have just seen like 2 weeks back. Then this is obviously a second test for the accumulation cycle. That's the daily Wyckoff, if I have to plug that in. Not that I want to, because I prefer the weekly more than the daily, because of all the daily, the lower down we get into the time interval, the more noises there is, and it's not easy to apply Wyckoff in those situations, but we can try given somebody wants to see it. So if we have this, obviously if we take reference here as well, it can go up definitely and then try to wiggle a bit before it boosts up. So the tricky part is if it does happen in a similar sense that Doge find a breakout, do not expect the new buying climax is going to be as high as the previous one. It can, but because it's still going to bound by this, the higher level distribution pattern. So be very careful if it does come up. Remember all these resistance, and again, it's just a game of setting your stop losses, right? So within this, trade a mini cycle according to the daily chart, but don't forget about the big picture on the weekly chart, because if we are taking the ride, let's say if we're in this green lake and there's mini cycle on the daily chart, let's say this one over here, obviously you can like stay longer in there because you're expecting some upside coming afterwards. But currently we are at a downtrend at this larger Wyckoff stage, so try not to expect the price will go crazy like this very soon, because we haven't seen some sort of accumulation or sign of strength yet. If that happens, obviously then it gives us more confidence, but we have to first see the price go test this blue line over here before we like we have more confidence to seek for a price jump from that point. So thanks for joining me today. I tried something that's different from before, tagging the Wyckoff pattern at a lower timeline. Hopefully